You were a drug addict from your young age. Doctor told you that you're gonna die in few days or weeks.
I started with smoking a cigarette. I think I was in grade 1, class 1 at the time.
How it escalated over time?
So I was injecting drugs every day, so it's very hard for me to survive.
How long does it take to recover from drug addiction fully?
It was not easy, though I had a very amazing experience.
Even in Canada, you can see many drug users, younger people, they're still using drugs in different forms.
Yeah, I feel like that I got a new life, a newborn,
How do you support them in their recovery journey?
I would say self-discipline is one of the very important things.
Which tends to come first? Is it addiction or mental health challenges?
Everybody have their own experiences, I think. Our life is precious. It's one-time life. After we die, we are not going to get it again this life.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the brand new edition of Beyond the Borders with Arjun Season 1, Episode 22 on CKLU 96.7, your station. My name is Arjun and you are listening to my voice and the show all over the world and all over Canada through different mediums. Yes, that's 96.7, CKLU.ca and Radio Player Canada app. Thank you so much for listening. Well, today we are honored to welcome Mr. Anmol Gurung all the way from Nepal, an outreach support worker at Teen Challenge Canada and assistant pastor at Sudbury First Nations Church. Anmol's journey from Nepal to Canada is one of resilience and transformation. After facing challenges finding work as a new immigrant in 2022, he moved to Sudbury, where his faith and determination opened doors. Drawing from his personal victory over drug addiction during his youth in Nepal, Anmol now dedicates his life to helping others break free from addiction, guiding them to rehabilitations and offering hope to the vulnerable. At the church, he leads, worship, preaches, and provides compassionate counseling, extending his service to officiating weddings and funerals as well. Anmol's story is a powerful testament to turning personal struggles into a mission of faith, purpose, and giving back. So today, stay tuned to hear how this remarkable individual is making a profound difference in our community and how he turned his challenges into a mission to uplift others and build a better future. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to begin in Nepali. कस्तो छ तपाईलाई?
एकदम ठिक छ.
सन्चै हुनुहुन्छ?
हजुर, एकदम सन्चै.
You belong to Gurung community. So what do you say, how are you, or let's say greet in your Gurung language?
I'm Gurung, but I don't know how to speak Gurung language.
Even simple greeting words or languages.
They say, did you eat rice? How they say, Koichaiwa.
What about you? Koinchaiwa?
Chai,
Not yet.
chai.
Chai, chai.
Sagan
Okay.
mua also. Sagan mua
Sagan,
means,
yeah.
are you fine?
Are you fine? All right. Thank you so much. Anmolji, let's head towards your journey. Your journey to Canada is full of struggles and remarkable at the same time. You arrived in 2022 February as a visitor. What brought you here in Canada?
Actually, I came here in 2019 in one spiritual conference, international conference here. So I had a multiple intervisitor visa. So and I went back home at that time in 2019. I was here for about a month and I went back. But at the time of COVID-19 and lockdown and all this happening, we couldn't do anything. We were just locked inside the house.
Very true.
At that time, I felt like that was the purpose of this life in this lockdown. And I thought about maybe I'll take this opportunity by going to Canada and do something over there. So yeah, all these things happened in the time of lockdown, thinking about the Canada because I had a visitor visa. I wanted to grab this opportunity to transfer this visitor visa from work permit. So I began to browse in the internet how to get job in Canada and all these things. And I saw in the internet that even the visitors, if they get any valid job offer letter and contract, you can change it to work permit, and from work permit to even permanent residence as well. So I got very interested about that, and I thought about coming to Canada. And me and my wife, we talked about this matter, and then we both agreed in that. So with lots of prayer as a man of faith and as a pastor as well, and I began to pray a lot, and I felt like coming to Canada, especially in Northern Ontario, I felt called. So I started a journey. Though I didn't know many people here, knew some people in London, Ontario. There were some friends, Nepali-speaking friends. So I chat with them. Is it possible to get some jobs over there? So they invited me. Yeah, you can live with us. We'll try to find it. There are lots of opportunities in Canada. So I took a journey of faith, a random faith, and came here. But it was quite a struggle for sure.
You were in London, Kitchener first, and then later on you moved to Sudbury. What inspired you, or why you decided to move to Sudbury?
Though I felt like I have to come to Northern Ontario because when I was spending time in prayer back home in Nepal, where in Canada I should go, that I felt Northern Ontario, but I didn't know anybody here. So I went to some friends in London, Ontario. So I stayed there and I began to search job. I applied so many jobs in Indeed and many other job websites, but I didn't get any job at all. So I was very frustrated, and I felt very uncomfortable just to stay in friend's house for more than a month. But it was a good opportunity. There were some small Nepali-speaking churches were around there, so I got a good chance, a good opportunity of sharing in some Nepali-speaking churches, and I took a language class also at the same time, ESL class, because I used to be a English language teacher back home also for the basic level students.
Wow.
And I was teaching Nepali language to the foreigners in Pokhara in our city. So I
Nice.
thought that if I don't get any job, if I have to go back home Nepal, then I would improve something in English back home in Nepal, and that could be one of my career of teaching English to Nepali people. So I went to London, Ontario by paying some money to. I went to one of the language center there, and I was learning some ESL classes, and I got a chance to speak in FM there also.
Wow.
Through the language teacher. The language teacher asked me, "Hey Anmol, where are you from? What is your job? What's your profession? What made you to come to Canada?" I said, "I'm from Nepal, but I'm a pastor also back home." And he was like, "You're a pastor also?" Yes, yes. And then tell me your story. And I told my testimony how I was a ex-drug user also a long time ago, and how there was a radical change in my life by the power of God and all these things. And he was so touched, and he called one of the local FM there and told the local FM that here's a man from Nepal. It's really touched my story. Then you must call this guy. And I got a call from, I think that's 99.9 FM in London. And then I got a call, and it was good that I got a chance to speak there also in that London FM at that time over there. And after a month, I didn't get any job in London, though I called so many places where there were vacancies. And then I said, I'm ready to work, even a janitor job or a cleaner or whatever, labor job, I'm ready for anything. But they said that we have lots of jobs, but not for the foreigners. It's a long process. If you are a permanent resident or a local Canadian, we have lots of job, but not for the visitors. So I was very frustrated, and I felt like I don't know what to do. So there was another friend from Kitchener also knew that I was there, and he called me to Kitchener. So from London, Ontario, I went to Kitchener again, and there was a small Nepali church as well over there. So I stayed in that brother's house over there for a month, and I searched so many jobs in Kitchener as well. I went here and there. I called so many job offers, so that was vacancies in the advertisements, but nobody gave me any job. So I tried so hard. So I was really frustrated. That was 2022, February, March, that time, yeah. And I felt like that I should go back home now because I'm frustrated 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I called my wife that, "Oh, honey, I'm so sad now that I didn't get any job. I had a dream to come in Canada, changing visitor visa to the work permit. I saw that in the website, but it's not happening. It's not easy, uh, as we say. And then I felt very, very sad. I was spending time in prayer a lot. Oh God, show me the way. So I called my wife and said, honey, prepare for my ticket back home now because I had an open ticket at that time. And I said, set my date very soon. I want to go back home. I don't want to be trouble to my friends over here. It's not good to stay in their house for a long time. I didn't get any job at all. So my wife reminded me, um, why don't you try to go to Northern Ontario? You felt that like that you have to go to Northern Ontario. Why don't you try that once? And I said, it's easy to say. It's easy for you to say that, but you are not here. It would be good if you are here and help me. But I don't know Northern Ontario at all. It must be very far place. It must be a very cold place. And I'm alone by myself, I said. But yes, but she encouraged me, just try someplace, just Google, just go to one of the city in Northern Ontario. So that word really inspired me, and I said, okay, let me check then. So I Googled Northern Ontario, and I saw the cities like North Bay, Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, and Sudbury. This city's name came over there. Sorry. So I was thinking which city to go. Maybe I will try to go. And how much does it take? Much does it cost to go there also? How far is it? I was just Googling how long is the train ride? Because I feel very vomiting and nausea when I travel by bus. But I like train rides very much because I've studied in India in my young life. So I travel by train. So I thought that if I don't get any job also, I will explore Canada, have a train ride or lots of fun with the sceneries and beauty of Canada. And maybe I go back home, I will take lots of pictures maybe in the train. So I saw all the routes of the train and everything. And I saw that from Union Station, Toronto to Sudbury, it's just like 6 to 7 hours train ride, and it was not very expensive as well, $60 or something. So I thought whether I should go Thunder Bay, North Bay, or Sudbury. So somehow I picked, let me try Sudbury. So I decided to come to Sudbury. So I bought a ticket, train ticket from Union Station, and I stayed in a hostel, a cheap hostel in Union Station, and I took a journey to Sudbury without knowing anybody here. I didn't know anybody here, so I just took a train ride, and I had only $600 left with me, US dollar, and I just sat inside the train. But I felt so much peace when the train was moving from Union Station to Sudbury, and when the train was moving, I felt peace that at least I obeyed God where I felt to go. I felt like that. So when I got down in Sudbury Junction, it was in a place like nowhere. There was no many houses. It was in quite a remote place.
And you knew nobody.
Yeah, sorry. I knew nobody at all as well. And then I was like very surprised. It was going to be dark as well. And then there were lots of people coming in their car to pick their own relatives, but I didn't have any relatives at all. So I looked here and there, is there any hotel nearby? Because my imagination was that near the train station there must be lots of hotels. Just like in Nepal, near the bus station, there are so many hotels. So I thought the same, but it was not like that. So I was a little bit scared, frightened also. Across the train station was like a bush over there, no houses, and I felt like going to the washroom as well. But even the train station was closed in the COVID time, and I couldn't use the washroom at all. So I was very afraid. I was praying, oh God, what to do? And I was trying to make friend with some of the people, those who were in the car. Can't you give me a ride? I was going to say that, but it was very difficult. I felt very uncomfortable to ask with the strangers as well. So at that time, I saw one taxi over there, and I went Aaron taxi. It was there was written Aaron taxi. So I went. Excuse me, can I get a ride to the hotel? And she said, hey gentleman, where do you want to go? I said, somewhere in the downtown near the cheap hotel. And she said, sorry, I'm here to pick up some passenger. I'm packed, I'm reserved. So I was very afraid maybe I should ask ride with some people. but I was praying. But at the same time, again, the taxi driver called me. Hey, gentlemen, come here. I didn't get my passenger here. Get in the car. Let me know where you want to go. Again, I said, I don't know any places here. Just take me to the hotel, and then cheap hotel. So I went inside the car, and she drove me, and then she talked to me many things, and I was very afraid also when she talked. She had lots of tattoos in her body, and then she told me that Sudbury is a very dangerous place and lots of addictions over here, and there are some people coming also sometime from different places. Sometimes lots of crime may also happen over here. So I was a little bit afraid at the time, but she showed me a white crosses of change, lots of crosses, and she told me that this city has a lot of problem with opiates and drug addictions and lots of overdose deaths, and all these people had died just less than 2 years or something like that, she said, and that's a huge problem here. And when she showed me that crosses, white crosses, I felt some click in my heart. I felt like, oh, because it was connected with my life. In 2001, I was at the last stage of my deathbed because I was contracted with hepatitis B positive because of sharing needles with my friends back home in Nepal. And I got a very chronic liver damage at that time because of hepatitis B. And I was at the last stage of my life. And my parents were waiting for me to die actually at that time. But the people prayed for me, and my family prayed for me. And at that time, I felt like that where I'm gonna go after I die. I was 21 only at that time in 2001. I was the age of 21, so I felt very bad, and I was preparing for the eternity actually. God gave me a good place in heaven. I'm not a worthy guy. I did so many mistakes in my life, but where I'm gonna go, I don't want to spend my eternity in hell or fire. Take me, heaven, Lord. I have heard that God loves everybody, and then I began to pray that way. And then I asked my dad also to take me to the hospital, and my dad is a lab technician, so he told me that he showed my blood report to many doctors, my liver function tests, and they told me that I'm in the very last stage and there is no help. So they didn't want me to take even to the hospital. So I was,
Anmolji, I'm going
yeah.
to talk about that in a bit. But before that, then what happened? How did you manage that day, the
Oh,
first day
yeah.
in Sudbury?
Yeah. After that, he took me to the Quality Inn Hotel, and there were lots of flags on the bridge as well. And then I went there, and she dropped me over there, and then I told my testimony to her also that I am a person who was delivered from drugs, and she was very happy also. She was also 35 years clean, she said. And then it was a good time. And she said that, welcome to Sudbury. Sudbury needs you, she said. People like you, she said. And it's a very kind of word of affirmation for me. So I went to the hotel inside the Quality Inn. But I couldn't stay there. They said that we need a credit card. And I said, I don't have. And they said, sorry, you cannot stay here. So I was trying to go outside to search for other hotel. But before I came here, one day before, I have wrote email to some churches in Sudbury actually, different churches, and I got a two response from two churches. One from All Nations Church, Pastor Luke had emailed me, if you come to Sudbury, I can meet you, and he had given me the phone number. And one from a Restoration Church at the Valley. I got a response from them that the pastor would meet me. So when the Quality Inn didn't accept me because I didn't have the credit card, I was walking outside, but I was very afraid in the dark. And at that time, I called Pastor Luke from All Nations. He came, and he used his credit card, and I gave the money. Yeah, that was the first night for me in Quality Inn Hotel.
Okay, you said you came as a visitor in February 2020, and before that, you came in 2019. So, what challenges did you face while transitioning from a visitor visa to work permit in Canada, and how did you overcome them?
My intention was to transfer my visitor to work permit, but I suffered, and it was very difficult for me in London, in Kitchener, and I came to Sudbury, and just randomly just walking by faith, yeah, not knowing what will happen, but just trusting God. And then I got a email from and a phone from pastor from Restoration Church, Pastor Jeff Edwards. He called me and said that I want to meet you, and I want to give you $100. Thank you for being obedient and coming to this place. I'm very busy. You can have a stay in a nice hotel and you can go back home, he said. And he came and meet me and let's have a coffee on Mall, he said. And I went to his car and then we had some coffee and I began to tell some of my stories as he was asking me about my faith, about my journey, about my family, different kind of things. So he seemed very interested and he took me to his church and he felt like that on Mall. I said that I will give you $100 and send you and do whatever you like, but I felt like that I must put you in a hotel and try to help something. And I will ask my church also, I need to have a prayer, he said, and ask other leaders also in the church. So I was in the travel lodge. He put me in travel lodge for 3 days hotel. So as I was staying there, and he took me to the church again, and the church prayed, and they decided to give me a work permit. Actually, they interviewed me, the pastor, and the people prayed, and then I play some songs also, music also, worship songs, Christian songs. So I played some music also with them, and I shared my testimony, everything. And then they felt like applying the work permit for me. So Restoration Church helped me apply for the work permit as an assistant minister over there to help in the church with songs, sometime preaching and doing the outreach ministries. So yeah, and we applied the work permit from here in Canada. But I was waiting for the result, but result was not very quick. So as a visitor, I'm allowed to stay only for 6 months. So I came here in February, but it was up to August. So the pastor, the church there decided that I must go back home, visit my family as well. Maybe I could have extended here also the visitor visa, but it's always wise to meet family back home also because there was a gap of 6 months.
Absolutely.
And it's very important to go back home. So I went back home to Nepal in August, and I was having good time with my family there, and I was waiting for the result from the work permit also. But around in 2022 December 15, I think I got an email. I got an email, and the email was about my work permit to work in a Restoration Church as an assistant minister over there is approved. So I came here, and December 31st, 2020, the very last day of 2022, I came here.
Okay.
And I started working from 2023 January, and my duration, my contract was to work till 2024 August. So I worked there. So it was a successful journey. God helped me. It was a very struggle, but I kept on seeking and seeking. I kept on trying. I didn't give up.
Absolutely.
So I want to say that don't give up to the last. If we give up and we try our best, He will do the rest.
Great. You mentioned your personal struggle with addiction in Nepal. Once you were a drug addict from your young age until 2001. And in 2001, you tested hepatitis positive. Doctor told you that you're going to die in few days or weeks. After getting severely ill, the last stage of liver, there was no hope for you to live, but you had belief for God, and that helped you to relive your life again.
Yeah, it was in my teenager from the age of 16 to 21. Yeah, I chose to live in my own. The teenager time is a very hard time. You feel like you can do anything, and very, very energetic age also at that youth life. So I wanted to be in my own with my friends. So I got, by sharing needle with friends because I didn't have money to survive in drugs because it's expensive you need it every day to inject drugs. So I was injecting drugs every day. So it was very hard for me to survive. So I used my friends' syringes, and that's why it contracted me the hepatitis B positive.
Can you share which substance you first started using that led you to your addiction and how it escalated over time?
I started with smoking a cigarette. I think
Mm.
I was in grade one, class one at that time, at very young age. Some of my relatives, brothers, cousin brothers, they introduced me. It's very nice. So my father had a small convenience store, like a small shop, and he used to sell a lot of cigarettes, noodles, everything. And my cousin brother came from Kathmandu just to visit us, and we enjoyed a lot. And they told us that the brothers told us and our friends that it's so nice. Let's try. Anmol just steal from the shop. So I stole some cigarette at the when I was in grade one. I tried, went to one of the bush, but it was just a try only. But later, slowly, uh, I started from uh, doing again marijuana and hashish, different kind of things in my school life. And my other friends were drinking alcohol also, so I started drinking alcohol also. And then other friends were using other tranquilizers, um, mental medicines, different kind of tablets, cough syrups, and different kind of things. So I learned that things also in the school life, and then slowly I wanted to try the injection as well. So when I began to inject, it became very needle sick also, and then it was very hard for me to come out from drugs. And I tried sometimes, but it was very very hard. I couldn't. Only when I was at the last point of my life and I was dying and I had no other option. And at that moment, my eyes were opened and I wanted life at that time. I said that I don't want to die. I, if I have one time, if I get one chance, that I would be a good man. Because my elder brother was going to office, he was working here and there, but I cannot even wake up or go to the washroom also properly because of too much liver pain. And at that time, I felt like that I need a new life. Why I chose drugs? The drugs made me like this. This disease, I contracted this disease because I chose to use drugs. If I had not used it, then I would have lived longer. I wouldn't have to suffer like this. So at that moment, I said, my body is too late. I think there's no hope. Who will give me hope? Who will give me life now? There is no hope. And at that time I thought about God. Maybe there must be one God who created everything. He's the only one hope. And because I was going to church from my childhood, that's why I thought about Bible. Maybe where can I know about God? Maybe Bible I will read. So I pulled the Bible. Bible was in the one side actually. I didn't care much, but that time I want to pull and begin to read. And I saw lots of hope over there. Jesus loving the very, very poor people, prostitutes, even leprosy people. He touched them, he loved them. He even ate with them, bad people and sinners. Even some people thought that why this Jesus is eating with the tax collectors and the sinful people. And then Jesus said that I came to die, I came to give life for everybody. I came to for those who are sick, those who are hungry, and those who are in pain. So those kind of words gave me hope actually, and I began to have faith in the Lord that oh, God, I need life. If I die, also forgive my sins. I said I want to go to heaven. But and I saw lots of miracles also in the Bible story. Many miracles were performed there by Jesus and about faith. And I said, I believe, Lord, if you want to give me life, please give me. I don't want to use drugs anymore. I want to live this life in a good way, and I want to do good things in life. I prayed like that. But if it doesn't happen, also, please give me a place in heaven, I said. And one day, one evening, I experienced a miracle actually. When I was doing the last prayer in my life, I felt a very power of God, a very supernatural, like the power of the Holy Spirit experience I had. And that wholly changed my life actually. I was fully healed by the power of the Holy Spirit at that time. So, and after that, I wanted to start a new life, and I didn't want to do drugs anymore.
And it's been 23 years now. You are
Yeah,
clean. You haven't touched even cigarette. You haven't touched even nothing,
yeah,
any kind of substances.
yeah. It's been 23 years now. It's really changed my life and everything. I felt that God really loves me. I felt, yeah, people sometimes believe in pastor, priest, or different kind of things. These are human beings. But what I want to say that is, I felt the love of Jesus Christ dying in the cross at that time for our sins, and He loves us. And I felt that connection with Jesus at that time actually. how much you love the sinners like that. And I want to encourage, yeah, sometimes pastors may mistake, priest may mistake, but it's the Jesus who is the one who died in the cross for us. I just want to encourage that way also. And that connection with the Lord, and then that prayerful lifestyle and that relationship with Him really helped me, actually, personal relationship.
So, in your experience, in your case, what strategy or practices have helped you maintain sobriety and avoid relapse over the years?
It was not easy, though I had a very amazing experience, spiritual experience at that time. That divine encounter kind of thing, I experienced that when I was reading the Bible and reading about Jesus, and I felt the love of God and forgiveness, and I felt fully, totally free from drugs. But after 1 year, I started going to college again. For 1 year or 9 months, I was still, I didn't go outside of my home, actually. I was just praying, spending time in prayer, reading Bible, and going to church and doing cleaning in the house, self-discipline a lot. I used that, but I thought that now I must study and continue my normal life. So when I went to college, and when I came out from college, I saw my old junction again, where all the friends would be there. And I saw my friends, and I said hi, and they also told me hi, how are you doing? And I shook hand with them. And then some friends will see me from the far away, and they say, "Oh, Anmol, let's go to shoot." They say, and I said, "I'm sorry, I will not go." But they were my very best friends, and I said, "Come on, Anmol, just you are my friend. If you don't want to shoot any injection or any drugs, you can have some marijuana or some cigarette." They say, I said, "No, no, no, sorry, I don't want to have. I'm going to college. I'm clean now." Uh, but when I was talking with them again after a year, also, I felt like that. Oh, once an addict is always addict. So I want to have it. I wanted to have it again one day. It happened like that, and I had money also in my pocket at that time. And I asked my friends also, "What are you doing here?" And they said that I'm waiting here for the drugs. Some of the friends has gone to the dealer. He's bringing. I'm in the waiting. And I remember my old memories. I used to sit with them, and I told them that once an addict is always an addict. I think I will have one time today. I will use a clean injection, and then maybe I will not use anymore. Maybe 5, 6 months later or 1 year again, very separately, I will use in a very safe way. And they said, then they told me that, "Anmol, you got a new life. I would suggest you don't use drugs. But it's up to you, as long as if you use the new injection, it's fine. New syringe, just use the new syringe." And I was battling in my mind. I felt like withdrawal again. I want to have drugs again. I remember all the enjoyment of all the drugs and friends. With this new life, I'm alone in the room. I'm studying and alone in the room. But with the drugs life, I have lots of friends, so much freedom. I can be like a Rasta. We say Rasta back home, eh? Like very much, yeah, free, very wild. But somehow I decided that no, 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 Anmol, no, I must go. So I went home, and I was very angry at home also. I don't like this life alone. I was very angry. I was like, "God, you healed me, you give me new life, but just a boring life, Lord." I said, "There's no enjoyment here." And I slept. And for me, the Bible study helped me a lot when I was reading Bible. And again, I saw lots of people in the Bible also, when they were serving God, they have so much difficulty, but they served with lots of compassion and lots of faith in the Lord. And yet that kept me reminding that, oh, I got a new life. I should not go back again. So I asked help with God also at that time. God helped me to be sober. In the Bible, I like one word also. If someone is in Christ, he is a new creation. So I felt like that I'm a new creation. All my past is gone. So once I was an addict, but I'm no more an addict. I'm a new creation. God has forgiven all my sins, my past life. I'm a new creation in God now. I want to start a new life. So I began to trust God more and more. And then and after some times I felt strength. I don't want to go back to drugs anymore now. Even people in front of me shooting drugs or smoke also, I don't have that appetite anymore. Nice. Self-discipline is also very important.
Very
Self-discipline,
important.
yeah.
Very important. And in 2005, you married
Yeah.
with an Indonesian
Yeah.
woman, lady.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about your better half right now?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, in 2005, yeah, that was a very important decision of my life, actually. Yeah, after I got a new life, delivered from drugs, starting a new life, and going to church and helping my other friends in Nepal also. In my Pokhara, there were lots of people suffering with drugs. Lots of my friends were at the very last stage of a deathbed, in the hospitals, in their homes, I have heard. So I began to go to their homes and begin to pray for them, sharing my story with them, giving them hope, and giving them hope that all things are possible. Things can change in life. So I spend time in prayer and sharing my story, what I experienced in new life. And I thought about in the same time at the age of 22, 23, curiosity of having a life partner or a girlfriend also at the same time, because all my other friends had the girlfriends and they was to go for dating, and I felt like I don't have any girlfriend now.
All
And
right, but the
yeah.
thing is, how did you meet an Indonesian girl
Yeah,
that time?
yeah, at that time, and then I felt like that I need a girlfriend. So I thought like that, but I don't want to play with people's life also. That must be serious also. That must lead to marriage. I don't want to play around with life. Because many times, because of the tragedy in love, also people go to drugs, also alcohol,
True.
because they feel like that very somebody betrayed them. So I thought about there are beautiful girls around there in Nepal also, eh? But I felt like that I don't want to play around with people. I want to be serious. So I prayed to God, God, you gave me a new life. I don't want to play around. I think I need a good person in my life. Exactly what you want in my life, who is suitable in my life, rather than just a temporary kind of friend or anything, but let it be like a lifelong partner in my life. So I prayed to God, and then I felt the answer that wait, don't haste, don't try to be hurry in your own, but wait, I will give the right person in my right time. I felt the Holy Spirit or God telling me to my heart, so I stopped. Sometime I thought about proposing some girl in Nepal, eh? But suddenly when I got that revelation, and I stopped. And then one day I was at my home, and there's a Bible school in Pokhara at my city, and they called me to tell my story also, how I delivered from drugs and to do some songs there. So they called me at 2 o'clock, but it was 11 o'clock I think at that time, but still so much time, like 3 hours or 4 hours left. So I was praying alone in my room, keep quiet. Just I was quiet and just praying, and I just felt like that the Spirit of the Lord telling me, Anmol, get up from as you are praying and open the door and go out. And I felt like that, is it a voice, my own voice, or God's voice, or whose voice is that? So, but I said, let me obey. So I opened the door and I saw my wife was cycling in the cycle, just in the road in front. And then I looked at her and said, this looks like a little bit like Nepali, but little bit like Korean or Filipino. I don't know what kind of lady is this. But her shoes was very funny shoes. Nepali people want to wear that shoes. The mountain shoes she was wearing. And I said, this is not Nepali. Nepali people will not wear the shoes like that. And I looked at her and I said, oh, don't look at girls too much. So she just went past by, eh? And then I was just, she passed by. I don't know where she went, but I was just roaming around my home, and my neighbors called me. Hey, brother Anmol, like, come here, come here. There is one lady here. She said she's Christian, and then she's searching for church. And then please translate. We don't understand her English. So I went there and I said, oh, it's the same girl again with the cycle. So I went and tried to talk with her. But another guy came and he talked more. So I was just looking at her, listening her. Eh? And then she was telling that she came from Indonesia. She felt called to come to Nepal and serve there and live there. And then she said about her faith, and her faith was also a faith in the Lord Jesus Christ and in Christianity. So I felt like that, wow, that's good. And she said that that was time in Nepal was lots of civil war, Maoist, lot of thing. And she said, I'm not afraid with all these things. I don't need many facility. I felt God called me here. If I have to go to the remote place of Nepal where there is no washroom or no internet also, I'm ready to serve Nepali people, and I love Nepali people. She said, and I felt like, wow. this sister will be my very good sister. I thought like that. I didn't thought about making a girlfriend or marriage. I never thought, because I didn't like her face at all. So for me, I was like, this is not beautiful, like, for my eyes, but for the heart, it's very beautiful. Wow, I felt like that. And I felt like beauty is not only about the outside, the beauty is in the inside.
True.
So I felt like that this kind of person, I must make a maybe a very good spiritual sister for me, I thought. So after some time, another man was talking, and he went, and I got a chance to talk with her. And I introduced myself, and I shared my story, and I thanked her, and then told her that I will introduce with some pastor in Pokhara. So I introduced my family to her, and then I introduced to some pastor, and my mother said that why didn't she stay at our house? So my real mom, she lived by herself in a different house, but I have a stepmom now, and my real mom house, she was alone, so I took her to stay with her. And in the same night, my real mom was very sick and she was hospitalized. And my wife asked me, who will look after your mom? I said, I don't know, maybe I'm the one. And she also stayed in the emergency in Gondege Hospital in Pokhara. And then that's how I met her. And she went to Indonesia back home again, but I took her email address. So in the email, our log was in the email.
We don't have much time. We have lots many questions. I want to quickly ask, and I expect quick answers from you. How long does it take to recover from drug addiction fully?
I think there is no fully cure by itself. Everybody have their own experiences, I think, and people relapse after so many years also, after 20 years, 30 years also, people go back to drugs. But people have their own stories. I'm 23 years clean now, and then I'm trusting the Lord that I'll do my best. But there are so many therapies also, like methadone programs are there, sublicates, and so many treatment centers. Mine one is a little bit different by the encounter with God and the Holy Spirit. I got that kind of experience I had. I didn't go to rehab also, so I couldn't say that this is the way like that. For me, I didn't go to any rehab. There could be different ways people can get healed from drugs.
What are the most effective treatments for drug addiction?
I would say self-discipline is one of the very important things. Though we go to many rehab centers, or though we go to different programs, also if we don't self-discipline or focus our mind, is going to be very difficult. And we have to learn at life about forgiveness also, because there are so many triggers that leads once a drug user to come back to drug user. When they are angry, when they are hurt, they see the solution again, that I'm very painful man and I want to go to drugs. That we have to release forgiveness and to each other, lots of betrayals or from the family, friends, parents, and different kind of things, and keep on going. And self-discipline is very important. Focused mind.
Now you are currently working in Teen Challenge Sudbury as an outreach support worker. So can you tell us about what is Teen Challenge Canada and how does it help individuals recover from drug addiction?
Teen Challenge Canada is a faith-based, and they believe that God can heal. So they don't use methadone program and different kind of programs, but they use sublicates that they are allowed to use for 3 months, first 3 months, and it's a 1-year program for men and women. Though the name is Teen Challenge, but you have to be at least 18 years of age. It doesn't mean that it's only for teens, eh? And so it's a faith-based program, and you have a spiritual formation classes also over there, and we have a phase 4 after they graduate for 1 year. They will get an opportunity to, if they want to have a job over there, they will be paid for the job as well. So Teen Challenge is faith-based.
As an outreach support worker at Teen Challenge, what are your roles and what are some of the most common challenges individuals face when trying to overcome addiction, and how do you support them in their recovery journey?
I'm a new staff here in Teen Challenge. I'm learning a lot nowadays. But before, when I was in Nepal also, I was working with a lot of drug addicts, and I worked in prison as well in Pokhara, my city. So I would say that while we go to this field of meeting people with drug addiction and people in different stages of mental health illness and depression, anxiety, different kind of things. Yeah, compassion is very much important, that we must love everybody as they are and not judge them, not judge or anything, but show compassion is very important. So I'm enjoying this work in Teen Challenge as an outreach support worker, but in the same time, I have to do general counseling also. My boss, my friend, coworker Leanne is there, so, our coordinator, and she's teaching me also the other things about applications also. So we work together, but she goes with me also to the field, also to the encampments and different places, and meet people and hear their stories. And we are learning a lot in this field of, while helping the people in drug addiction, we have to hear them, not only try to talk and you have to do this program, then that program. Of course, there are many programs like harm reduction programs like methadones and other medical programs, counselings are there. But it's so important, what is important is to hear their story, be patient, be friendly with them, and begin to encourage them that there's a new life. And we spend time in counseling a little bit, general counseling, not a professional counseling. But we are learning a lot to hear these stories and share our stories as well. And we do pray also if they want. We don't force any people, but if they want prayer, we do prayer also, and we do encouragement. And if there are no bed available in Teen Challenge, people they apply, but sometimes our Teen Challenge is very packed. There's no beds available. It's very hard to get bed. So we what we are doing now is Leanne and I, we are trying to send them to other places. So we are trying to make friends with them, and those people, those who are suffering and those who want a recovery. So we become friends with them, and we try to send them to other places also. So it's been so good to work with client navigators and Red Coats and Samaritan Center, Elgin's Mission, Northwood Recovery, and we are partnering with so many people now, working together, not only Teen Challenge, but everything working together for the betterment of Sudbury. So when we work in unity, we'll get the results. And the ingredient is love for sure, compassion and love.
Sometimes did you feel like you reincarnated in the same life?
Yeah, I feel like that I got a new life, yeah, newborn, yeah. I got a new, I feel like I'm 23 years old now. I'm 43 but in my real age, but I am 23, I think, yeah, because that time I started a new life because I was nearly dying at that point.
Absolutely.
And I want to encourage all people also.
Before we leave, your journey from addiction to becoming an outreach worker to pastor is truly inspiring. What advice or message of hope would you share with someone listening to us right now who might be struggling with addiction or mental health challenges?
Don't give up on your friends, brothers or sisters or husband or wife or a spouse or whoever are suffering in this addiction. There is always hope. I believe as a pastor also God exists, and then prayer is one of the very important part of our life. Having faith in God is so important. But if you don't believe in God also, I would like to encourage that whatever you have gift or potential, some people may be very good in music, some people may be very good in other things, engineering or handicrafts. Just try to get busy with whatever you talents you have, then you can do something. Just like a seed, one corn seed. If we sow the seed, and what we see the harvest is that as the corn grows, there's not only one corn, but there's like lots of corn, two corn. There are so many mazes over there. So the small talent, whatever you have, small potential or small gift, whatever you have, just try to use it in purpose in the city or wherever you are. God has given you some gift in this earth, and unless we die, we are given some talents. Just use it. There's talent in you and me. At least one. Everybody has one talent, and then you can expertise and do excellence in that field. And I would say another thing also, encourage each other. Encourage each other. Don't give up on people. Those who are suffering. Those who are in a very bad stage, and don't hate people when they are suffering. But there is hope. Prayers is so important. Self-discipline is important, I would say, and getting engaged in whatever you are good at, and try to excel in that things. And don't forget to get help from each other. Try to find help, whether it's from any organization or treatment center or churches or good friends. Try to get help each other. And I would say that our office is in Elgin Mission building as well, 344 Elgin Street Mission.
Yeah.
Our office is there, Teen Challenge, and me and my coworker, my coordinator Leanne, will be more than happy to talk about the recovery journey, and then we would support our best, even working with other organizations as well. Here, Monarch is here, and then Psych Ward in SSN Hospital. We work together, and Northwood Recovery and Samaritan Center, Elgin Mission, and there are other churches also, other friends also. We'll work together.
What do you think that why do people become addicted to drugs, and what are the main causes or reason behind that?
For this question, I have to say that I would say this way. People can go to drugs because of lots of anxiety, depression, or when they lose hope in their life, or when they are very much hurt or painful from any situations or failures. It could be exam failure, or feel like you are nothing, others are doing so better, but my life is useless. It could be traumas of past also, how different kind of abuses and betrayals between girlfriend and boyfriend could be lots of in this matter also. And then it affects our mental health also, and you feel like that there is no purpose of life. And sometimes people might feel like that it's better to be a drug addict and just try to numb the pain in the heart and try to forget everything and be like a free kind of lifestyle, and I don't care about life. And that way also people can be drug addict, but I think, in my opinion, but sometimes it couldn't be any hurt or pain or anything, but because you want to try something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a curiosity. How does that vape taste, or how does marijuana would taste? I will try one time. I will try to inject one time drugs. I just want to have some kind of experience in my life, everything at least, that curiosity. And it may lead to addiction as well when you feel good about it. And then it may lead to that kind of lifestyle also. And sometimes the choices of what kind of surrounding, what kind of friends you want to hang around with also, I think is very important to make a right choices of friendship with people also. Of course, we have to love everybody, we have to appreciate everybody, no matter how much of downhill people are going, or how much of addiction or drunkenness, or how bad they are also, how criminal they are, or no matter whatever they are, we have to love everybody for sure. Everybody deserves love, and love heals many hurts also. But in the same time, self-discipline and being wise is also a very important thing, to choose right kind of friendship in our lives also. It helps us because friends are very close, the partners of our lives, that because you trust in them. So when you have friends with the same interest in other things and better things, and they will inspire you also.
Everybody knows it has bad effects. It's not good for your health. It's very harmful. But then also it's going on. Even in Canada, you can see many drug users, younger people, they're still using drugs in different forms.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say to those people?
Yeah, definitely when we are addicted in drugs, it numbs the pain for a while, for some time, for alcohol also. But I would like to say that I would like to encourage that our life is precious. It's one-time life. After we die, we are not going to get it again this life. So I want to say that make better choice. Try your best to make better choice, better friends, and try to overcome the struggles in life. The Holy Spirit, God will help for sure, and there are good people around us who wants to help us as well. So drug is like a slow poison, yeah, and in being addicted in it, we begin to be dependent on it, and it's affecting our health a lot. But we can use our life, better things. If you are good in music, try to go that way. If you are good in reading, spending time in reading is a good way, I would like to say. And what would benefit others also. that kind of things we can get engaged in, like exercises or music or singing or whatever, swimming or writing articles or in a media field or in a computer. What you are good at, better to go in that, and it will help us to excel in our lives and be better, do something better rather than drug lifestyle.
Can you please explain the connection between drug addiction and mental health issues? Which tends to come first? Is it addiction or mental health challenges?
Uh, I would say that sometimes mental health challenges could be from heredity character also, or maybe from parents also it might come. I am not expertise in this, but in my opinion, sometimes it could, because of that, or sometimes mental health could be effect of some traumatic experience also, when some kind of abuses or some kind of traumatic or accident happen in life, which is shocking kind of things happen in life, that may affect our mental health. In relation with the drug addiction lifestyle, many people go to drugs to numb their pain, the inner pain or tragedies or the hurts in their life. Sometimes they think, because they feel very painful, they feel lonely, and they feel hurt of certain things in their life, and they might think that it's better for me to spend my life in drugs so that I can numb my pain, because of lots of mental effect, because of something accident happened in life.
Anmolji, does it really numb your pain? Does it really heal your heart?
For a while, unless when you get high, you forget everything for a while. You feel like very relaxed because of the drug effect.
And what happens later?
And later, and then again, everything is there again. It's very temporal. It's not a permanent solution. It just defects our health. It's not good for our health actually. But for mentally, for some time it gives some kind of pleasure. For like alcohol, sometimes we feel like very, very expressive, and you would like to sing, dance, maybe forget everything for a while. It does something in our brain or something, only for a while. After that, and everything is there. Pain, hurt, abuses or traumas are still there. So I think in life we have to learn to struggle and face that traumas or abuses. And one of the main role is to forgive everything what has happened. If somebody has hurted you, if somebody has treated you bad, any kind of abuse in our life, I think forgiveness is a very good medicine, that I forgive that person, or even forgive ourselves also. If we might have also done some mistakes in our life, and we may feel guilty in our life a lot, and that may also lead to drunkenness or drugs or anything, because you feel guilty of your mistake. But we have to forgive ourselves also, I think, and go forward in life. And I would say that God forgives also. In the Bible says that He forgives us all. He died in the cross for us also, and we can put all our mistakes onto Him. He took our every sins. But generally, if we don't believe in God, also releasing forgiveness to each other is very important, and take life as it is, and keep on going. That I will battle in this life, I will struggle in this life, rather than choosing drugs or alcohol, which can damage my body. Everybody has to go through some struggle in life, but we get help from each other and keep moving.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story and inspiring others.
It's a privilege for me. Thank you very much.